Hi, boys and girls. Miss Gonzales is here today. I hope you're having a really good day today. I'm getting ready to read you a story, and I wanted to introduce to you our family pet. I don't know if you can see him. Here, come here, Rainbow. This is Rainbow. See if you can see him here. Do you see Rainbow? This is Rainbow. Rainbow is a betta fish. We've had Rainbow for about a year now. Notice that Rainbow, there's not any other fish in this tank with Rainbow. The reason why is that a betta is considered an aggressive fish, which means that he doesn't like to be in the tank with anyone else. If there was another fish in this tank, he would hurt that fish. He is what you would call solitary. He likes to be alone. But the reason why I wanted to show you Rainbow today is that we are going to read a story by Mark Pfister. I think a lot of you know the story, The Rainbow Fish, but this one is Rainbow Fish in the Sea Monster Cave. Let me see if I can. There we go. But notice the rainbow fish, very pretty. Help! Come quick! The little blue fish was alarmed. His friends were there in a minute. What is it? What's wrong? Look at the bumpy back fish. He must be sick. He isn't moving and he doesn't answer me. He just groans. Notice how all the other fish are colorful. Notice that the bumpy fish, the bumpy back fish, what can you tell me about his color? Why do you think he's that color? Let me through, said the swordfish. She went up to the bumpy back fish. Can you tell me what's wrong? The bumpy back fish moaned. Oh, my stomach aches. I feel terrible. You need red algae, said the swordfish. But the only place where red algae grows is on the other side of the sea monster's cave, said the little blue fish. I'll go, declared Rainbow Fish. We saw the word declared yesterday in our story, 3 Hens and a Peacock. It just means that he stated it. He's going to do it. Are you out of your mind? Cried the others. It's the most dangerous place in the entire ocean. That's where the rock monsters live, and a creature with 1,000 arms to catch you, and the 5-eyed globefish. So look at these scary fish that they're talking about. Rainbow Fish trembled. He almost changed his mind, but then he looked at the poor bumpy back fish lying in the sand. Bravely he said, I'll go anyway. I'll come with you, cried the little blue fish. That made Rainbow Fish feel better. Quickly they swam off before they lost their nerve. That just means that before they got nervous or changed their minds and decided that it was not a good idea to go. The sea monster's cave was dark and frightening. The rock walls were steep and jagged. Swim lower, whispered Rainbow Fish. That rock monster has his mouth open to eat us. The cave grew even darker. What do you notice in this illustration? Do you see anything? Suddenly, the little blue fish cried out, "Help!" The 1,000-armed creature has caught me. Rainbow Fish tugged and pulled until his friend slipped out of the monster's slimy arms. That was a close call. Now he was really scared. What is this slimy monster, boys and girls? Can you tell? Do you know what that's called? Do you know what that's called that he's stuck in? Is that seaweed? Or is that some kind of plant? Can you tell me? Rainbow Fish looked down. The 5-eyed globefish is watching us, he whispered. The little blue fish shivered. Quick, let's get out of here, he said, and they swam as fast as they could until they finally emerged on the other side of the sea monster's cave. There, they saw a big clump of red algae. The two friends picked as much as they could carry, and then they turned to go. The little blue fish hesitated. That means he stopped. I can't go back through that cave. I'm too scared. Rainbow Fish was scared too, but he said, at least now we know what's in there. They looked at each other, gathered their courage, and swam off. Soon, they saw the 5-eyed globefish. There's something funny about those eyes, said Rainbow Fish, and he swam a little closer. Do you think it's really a 5-eyed globefish? What do you think it might be? Then Rainbow Fish laughed. That isn't a 5-eyed globefish, he said. It's just the lanterns from 5 little lanternfish. Why, they aren't scary at all, said the little blue fish, giggling with relief. Does your imagination ever get the best of you whenever you're scared and you think you might see something when it's not really that? I've done that a lot. When they reached the creature with 1,000 arms, they looked more closely. Seaweed, they said together and laughed. The rock monsters turned out to be just ordinary rocks. Unafraid, the two fish swam right by them and out of the cave to find their friends. You made it, the other fish cried. Did you see the rock monsters? Did anything try to eat you? We'll tell you everything later, answered Rainbow Fish, but first we have to give this red algae to the bumpy back fish. The bumpy back fish nibbled at the algae and soon he felt better. I don't know how I can thank you. It must have been dreadful to go through the cave. We were terribly afraid, Rainbow Fish admitted. But when we looked more closely, the monsters disappeared, interrupted the little blue fish happily. And then the two of them told the story of their journey and all the terrifying monsters that weren't really monsters at all. The end. I love that story because it tells about some fish that cared about their friend enough to have to overcome some fears that they had. At the time, they thought that they could even be eaten, but they decided that it was worth the risk to help their friend. Yesterday, we talked about quotation marks. We looked at some sentences in the other book. I had you write some quotation marks. I showed you an example sentence from the book. If you notice, this is another book that's really good at having conversation between the fish. So you see this one, it says, "Are you out of your mind?" cried the others. Again, this was one just like yesterday. You have the quotation marks. Look at that question mark. Then they have the dialogue tag, which all that tells you is who is saying it. And it was cried the others. Do you see that? So some of you sent me some conversations that you made up from yesterday, and you did a wonderful job at that. But I definitely wanted to go back over that with you today. What I wanted to help you with today is compound sentences. I want you to feel comfortable putting compound sentences in your paragraphs. So before we begin, can you tell me what a compound word is? A compound word is two words that are put together to make a new word. So the examples that I gave you were dog house. If you have dog and you have house and you put those together, you have a new word, and it's dog house. You also have lunchroom. You put together lunch and room, and then it forms the new word lunchroom. And that's what a compound word is. Well, a compound sentence, what do you think that is? If a compound word is two words put together to make a new word, what do you think a compound sentence is? That's right. A compound sentence, let me make sure you can see that, is two sentences put together to make one sentence. And the way that we do that, well, you can't just squish the two together. You have to join them by what's called a conjunction. And for second graders, these are the three that we look at. So you put comma and, you could use that. You could use comma or comma but. So the example that I gave you today, we want to play outside. That's my first sentence. We want to play outside. It is raining. Which conjunction would be the best fit whenever I wanted to make a compound sentence? Well, we want to play outside, comma, but it is raining. Do you see how we join that? So you take, here's the first sentence. We want to play outside. Then you put a comma. Then you put your conjunction. And notice, this sentence is not capitalized because it's part of this entire sentence. It is raining. Period. Here's another example that I made for you. And it is, my pet is a fish, comma, and his name is Rainbow. Do you see that? The reason why I chose this example for you is that I want you to write me a paragraph today. I want you to include an introduction and a conclusion, and I want you to tell me about your pet. Do you have a pet at home? And if you do not have a pet at home, what pet would you like? What animal would you like as a pet? You can write about that. I want you to include at least one compound sentence. And I will be sure to post this on the class story with Dojo, so that way you can see the assignment, and then just post in the comments your paragraph. I would love to read about your pet or a pet that you would like to have. But I hope you guys are having a good day today. And notice I've got my fish shirt on, my Dr. Seuss shirt, since we were talking about fish today. And I'll be sending you some math tips later. We'll talk about the clocks from yesterday. I hope you're having a good day. Bye.